Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Canon EOS photographer RandallMRueff. Today is Monday, November 23rd, 2015 AD. It is 23:48 hours. In this video, I'm going to compare my Canon EOS Digital Rebel XT with the battery grip, the 20 to 300 millimeter Phoenix zoom lens, and my 580EX flash to the current lineup of EOS DSLR cameras, both in price, quality, workmanship, capabilities, speed, resolution, ISO, low light capabilities, focus capabilities, hardware, software, you name it. I'm going to talk about it in this video. So sit down, relax, enjoy, get ready, because here we go. Alright, as you can see, I'm on the right side of the video here. 3 pictures of me and my DSLR, the Canon EOS Digital Rebel XT. 8 megapixels, 3.5 frames per second when it's really working. 580EX flash, battery grip. They say that the best camera is the one you have with you. Well, this is the one I have with me. It's about probably 10 years old, give or take. I would love to be able to afford a 1DC currently, or whatever the best is coming up. But right now, this is the camera I have. That's what I've been using, and I continue to use until I can afford a better one, a lot better one. So if you're out there, name and address will be in the description to this video. I'd love to be able to review the new cameras as they come out. So let's start with the price range. We're talking about currently with the 1DX. Now this doesn't include the 1DC because it's in the center line. But you can see it goes from the low end. Let's do this. Let's sort out my price. We do it the exact opposite way. Maybe not. No, I don't want to do that. Somebody go the other way. Alright, well, let's do this. Let's start at the bottom here. The EOS Rebel SL 18 to 55 millimeter IS-STM lens kit. Basically $450 for. I really like that white one right there. So if you click on the details, where's the? Okay, here we go. Specifications. SD card and SDHC card and SDX memory card. That's interesting. No compact flash. Let's see. I'm trying to see where the resolution on this thing is. Maybe I need those features. I probably do. No, I need press or where is all the information I want? Specification. It does have a built-in flash, which is good. It doesn't give you a lot of information. It does say it's a small camera. Oh, here we go. 18.0 megapixels, which would be a lot more megapixels than I have with my current camera, to say the least. a lot more. Digit 5, which is faster. Basically, if you're stepping up, according to this, if you're stepping up from a smartphone or compact camera, this would be the next camera in your choice here. Go back up. I can't remember that well. Next up, now keep in mind this has an 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens, which isn't really anything fancy. Just your basic lens. It's not gonna be bad. It's not anything fancy. You can get some pictures with it, no doubt, but it's not a super high-end lens. It's just an average, take, snapshot, take pictures of your kid, take pictures of your, doing whatever. T5i, we kick up to $650. And let's see what we got here. 18 megapixels. Digit 5, so we're basically in the same area as we were the last camera. Let's see what I assume these have video built in. I could be wrong, but I think they have. Yeah, it does. It has video. Sample images. Has a built-in flash, SD card, SDHC. Image format is 2.3 by 14.9. EF lens mount, EF mount. What's in the box? So if you buy one, that's what you get. You get the Rebel body, the lens, the iCap battery pack, battery charger, neck strap, interface cable, solutions disc, camera instruction manual, not all of which is shown here. Basically, it's the same stuff. Basically, it's just a little bit better than the previous one. Not by much. But then it doesn't cost that much more. So I wish it would remember to do it by price, but it's not remembering that for some reason. Okay, so going from $450 to $650, which is basically $200 price jump. Here we go to another $100 price jump. So you can expect that the T6i is going to be a little bit better, but not much. Okay, but here's where the jump comes. It goes up to 24.2 megapixels. So there's your price increase. It goes from 18.0 to 24 megapixels. Basically, let's see. Easier capturing system, long exposure, videos, So basically, for your extra $100 or so, you get 24.2 megapixels, which is for $100 is a good price increase. For that amount of price increase, is going up to 24 is worth it. So that's if you were going to ask me, should I get the 6i? Back. I wish it would keep remembering. I'm going my price here, people. It's not remembering it. But anyway, so if you're going to ask me, especially since it has Wi-Fi, would I get the T5i or the T6i and spend the extra $100? Yes. Two reasons: Wi-Fi, which may or may not be a big deal, but the resolution increase, definitely. So when you have those two together, boom, $100 jump worth the extra $100. The higher resolution and Wi-Fi. So the resolution in and of itself is worth a $100 jump. So that when you get that and Wi-Fi jump boost, yeah, definitely, it's worth $100. Spend the extra $100 if you're looking at this kind of camera. So let's look at the 70D, which is for a long time has been the go-to camera for sports people. Or not the sports camera. I'm thinking of the 70, not 70. Excuse me, I apologize. That's wrong. The 70D. I was thinking of the 7D. This is 70D, not 7D. Okay, so 70D. What's $900? Sorry, I didn't mean to get you confused there. Okay. Oh, cool. Now, here we go. Articulating screen, dual pixel CMOS autofocus. Let's see where my megapixels are at. I'm looking here. I'm looking. 7 frames per second. Dual Digit 5 image processor. 100%, but then Wi-Fi. Why can't it just tell you where it's at? Let's go back. I swear, every time I do this, it's very annoying, people. Doesn't say. Features. Brochure. Well, I'm looking at how many. I don't know. It doesn't say. I wish it would say. I'm looking, people. Hold on. Okay, here it is. 20.2. I wish it would just say that. 20.2. So it's not going to be as good as the previous camera. Let's go back to that. A lot of people do like, a lot of amateurs like the articulating screen, some professionals too. The reason it's not in the higher end cameras is because it makes the body not quite as, to put in an articulating screen, the pivot point on that makes the camera weaker than a high end camera. It's not able to be as durable and as sturdy, so that's why it's not on the high end cameras. Should remember that. Okay, so the 70D, $900, not quite as good resolution as the 749, but the reason, basically, it's this camera with lesser resolution. This one has, the 70D has less resolution, but it has that articulating screen, which a lot of people really like. So that's what you're paying for. This $900 compared to this $750, which is a $150 price jump. What you're paying for is that articulating screen, because you're not getting a higher resolution. Now it's 20 megapixels. Okay, yeah, sure. It's not bad for most people. They're going to buy a camera in this price range. It's not bad. That's not the issue. But what you're paying for, the $150, is that articulating screen. If you want it, you're going to pay for it. If you don't want it, if articulating screen isn't what you're literally looking for, go back to the T6i. The resolution's better, it's cheaper, and you'll be more happy. If you want an articulating screen, you're going to pay for it. Alright, let's go up to 60D. They don't. For some reason, they don't have a Canon store price. I wonder what the deal on that is. Maybe they're getting ready to discontinue. I bet you they are. Look at that. It's 18 megapixels. I'll bet you they're getting ready to discontinue this camera. It's only 18 megapixels. Digi 4, yeah. I'll bet you they're getting ready to discontinue this camera. That would be my guess. I swear, if I could just get them to stay with price instead of that. No, I can't say for sure. It's a $900. But it's the same price as the 70D, so I'm thinking they're probably going to discontinue that one, because you see how there's a Canon store price, And they've got manufacturer suggested retail price. So they're obviously the 6Ds are out there in stores probably still, but Canon's not selling them online. So I got a feeling they're gonna they're either going to or they already have from the store. They've discontinued selling it because it's the same price. And normally you don't have two cameras that are set at the same price. Not always, but okay. Let's talk about the T6S for $1,050. Which let's see what we got here. See if we want to spend a little bit more money. We might want to. Okay, here we go. 24.2 megapixels. It's got the articulating screen. Let's see what else we got here. Got the pop-up flash. Ooh, I like that top screen. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the little LCD. It's a little bit smaller, but it's nice. So I really like this. Got a little bit higher resolution, 24.2. That's not bad. Digix 6. That's where you go. That's where the price increases. It's you got articulating screen. You got 24.2 megapixels plus you have a Digix 6. So the processor is faster than the previous camera. So there's a boost. Basically, the advantage here is everything's going to work a little bit faster. So you pay a little bit more money, you have a faster speed. So there's your T6S. Okay, next we have, this is a price increase because it was originally, that's gone down, people. The 7D Mark II, that's the one everybody's talking about now. That's your sports shooter. And your 7D, that's the one a lot of people are really flocking to. Aside from the 1DX and the new 5D SR and the 5DS and the 5D Mark III. Seems like a lot of people don't go for the 6D as much as they do the 7D Mark II because the 7D Mark II has a lot of, and the original 7D had a lot of buyers and a lot of users. And the 7D, for the price point, it's gone down because it was like $17.99. And now it's $12.99. So that's a $500 price drop. So, and under the $2,000 range, it's the fastest shooter for sports and wildlife. This is the one everybody likes because it's got the crop sensor, which makes your lenses go even further. 20.2 megapixels. See, there's your APS-C size sensor. So, ISO of 100 to 16,000, which is pretty good. I mean, it's not as good as a 1DX and 1DC, but basically, this is your sports and wildlife not portrait, but well, you can do. Of course, you can do portraits, but it's aimed at sports and wildlife where you get a lot of fast action. Aside from the 1DX, it's really the fastest camera. It's advertised as the fastest camera out there. So, or one of the fastest at least in the Canon lineup. So, if you're shooting sports or wildlife, this is the camera you probably want to get if you can't afford the 1DX or the 1DC. 65 auto cross points, 20.2 megapixels. This is a lot more than my camera can do. My camera doesn't even come close to this. Here's what I like though too. Full HD, GPS built in. That's cool. I like GPS. 10 frames a second. It's got CF and SD card slots. It's just got a lot of the things. It goes up to 16,000 ISO on both pictures and video. You got 3 different aspect ratios. You got your 1:1. You've got your 3:4 for television, and you got your 16:9. for movies and videos. I love having that aspect ratio option. That's really cool. Use lots of options. Um, Dual digit sixes, so you have two processors. All the standard stuff, of course. 100%, approximately 100% viewfinder. So what you see in the viewfinder is what you're going to get on here. Um, the actual picture, a lot of good features. It's fast. The fact that it's only $1,300, dude. I mean, I realize it didn't come with a battery grip, but for the price it's now at, you can get the battery grip and still be under the original price of $17. Look at that. Manufacturer suggested retail $1,800. You can get this plus the battery grip and still be under the manufacturer suggested retail price. That's amazing. I would get this, the battery grip, and boom, that would be. I mean, under $2,000. If you got $2,000 or less to spend, this would probably be the camera for you. Now, keep in mind, it's got a crop sensor, so your lenses, like your 28 to 3, my 28 to 300 would be like 75 to 420 something. I don't. I'd have to do the exact math. My point is, it's gonna, no matter with a crop sensor, if you have a 28 to 300. Your minimum distance is going to be more than 28, and your maximum is going to be more than 300. It's going to zoom in even more. So but keep in mind what you see in the viewfinder is what you're going to get. I mean, that's the way to go, baby. Let's see where we at. Price 70. Next one we want to go up to is the 6D. Now, theoretically, this one should be better, but it's not. You got 20.2 megapixels, and you got just digit 5 plus. You got one digit processor, digit, and as in single. So that's why people prefer the 7D Mark II over the 6D, is because, as we just discussed, the 7D Mark II has two processors, plus it's a digit 6. This one has a single digit 5. Now the ISO can go a little bit further. It can go, the 7D Mark II only goes up to 16,000. This one goes up to 25,600. Expandable to a low of 50 or a high of 51,200 and an H2 of 102,400, which will be, both of those will be grainy, but still capable of doing it. So, if you need more low light capability and you want to stay within $2,000, this would be the one to get. However, most people nowadays are going to go for the 7D Mark II because, especially now with the price being what it is, they've dunked down on price. Wow, that's just amazing. Which takes us up to the 5D Mark III, the 5DS, 5DSR, and the 1DX. Keeping in mind the 1DX was originally $8,000. Let's start with the 5D Mark III. This wouldn't be a bad one to have, to say the least. But this is This is $2,500, so it breaks the $2,000 limit on here. So if you can afford more than $2,000, the 5D Mark III might be your lens or your camera. So I say your lens, might be your camera for you. Okay, ISO of 25,600, 61 point high density autofocus. Let's see, full 22.3 megapixels. So it is a little bit higher resolution than the 1DX and the 1DC. But it has a Canon Digit 5 Plus image processor. It has one image processor. Is that right? 6 frames per second. So it's only got one processor, huh? Well, that's interesting. I would assume it had two, but oh well. Huh. Anyway, I really like the display on the top of the camera on this one. 5D Mark III. A lot of people are using this. This would be a good camera for a lot of people. This would be my third choice right now. Third or fourth choice. Actually, my first choice would be 1DC. Second choice would be 1DX. Third choice would be 5DS. And this would be my fourth choice, 5DS or 5D Mark III. So right now, this would be my fourth choice in cameras if money was no object. Okay, so obviously it's gonna do video. It's gonna 22.3 megapixels, Digi 5. It's only got one processor. That surprised me. This only has one processor. 6 frames a second. Aspect ratio I like. I don't see GPS, which ticks me off. Multiple exposure. Okay, ISO of 25,600 photos and 12,800 for video, which is impressive considering my camera over here on the left, or excuse me, on the right, only goes up to 1,600. 1,600. Not anywhere near that, so that's impressive to me right now. But a lot of nice features. Again, right now, number 4 on my list. It was number 3 until the 5DSR and the 5DS came out. Come on. Okay, there we go. Now, here's where the 5DS and 5DSR are basically the same camera, except one has some kind of low pass filter junk that's twice on there. That I don't understand. Basically, the R is for resolution, which means the resolution is a little bit better, a little bit more sharper, but has a chance of some background noise and more moire effect. So the resolution, the R stands for resolution, which means it's going to have a little bit. It's going to be a little bit sharper, but it has a possibility if you have like real small lines. You see that effect if you have a lot of, like a shirt or something that has a lot of small lines that kind of blend together, and it gives that effect. So if you have like a shirt where people have real small lines that go closely, they may look as if they blend together. But generally speaking, the R stands for better resolution. Either one's going to have good resolution, don't get me wrong. The R is just a little bit better. And it's like a $200 price difference. It's a good looking camera. But here's your kicker though. Look at this. 50.6 megapixels. Full frame. 50.6. Right now these two cameras, the 5DS and 5DSR, both have 50.6 megapixels. That's the selling point. 61-point autofocus system. Baby. That's the selling point for these two cameras. 50.6 megapixels. Oh, excuse me. 5 frames per second. Full HD at 1080p for video. Dual Digix 6. Let's see. FD and SD cards. Here's the downside though. The ISO is a maximum of 6,400. So for your low light shooters, if you're shooting a lot of low light, this may not be the camera for you, because the highest ISO is 64,000. It's not 64,000. It's 6,400. But if you look over at my right, on the right, my camera does 1,600. So compared to my camera, that's magnificently high. However, compared to some other cameras of today, 6,400 is not much. It's nice, don't get me wrong, it's good. But compared to what some other cameras are capable of doing, it's not much. Now, having said that, the highlight of these two cameras is the 50.6 megapixels. 50.6, that's incredible. But here's the thing. You're going to pay for it. $3,400. Okay. Basically, it's going to be the same thing, basically. I'll show it to you real quick now. 3.6. Pretty much everything's going to be the same. So, yeah, dual digi 6. Yeah, basically 5 frames. My throat's a little dry today. Okay, so basically those two are now the cream double resistance. My number 2 choice in cameras. If my name was no object. Number 2 is of course the highest in the DSLR lineup. The 1DC is actually in the cinema lineup. Basically, the 1DC and the 1DX. The only difference is the 1DC does 4K video, and the 1DX does 1080p, or goes up to 1080p. The 1DC, which is in the cinema lineup, does 4K video. So that's the only real difference, other than the price. Considering this, when it first came out, was $8,000. It's now $5,300. That's going down. Keeps going down. So that's good. That means probably the 1DX Mark II is probably coming out pretty soon. I would not be surprised if it was announced sometime after Thanksgiving, before Christmas, or an early 2016 1DX Mark II announcement. 1DX Mark II announcement. So, but we'll see. Anyway, well, would I love to have this camera? Yeah, sure. If I couldn't afford the 1DX or the 1DC, I would love to have the 1DX. This was awesome. This is, for all things considered, if you don't need 4K video, this is Canon's highest top of the line camera. 12 frames per second, 14 frames per second is super high speed. If you don't need autofocus, it's 14 frames per second because you can lock up the mirror. 12 frames per second, the maximum. It has a setting of 1 shot, 6 shots, or 12 shots. So if you just want to shoot one picture at a time, you can do that. Or if you want to shoot 6 frames per second or 12 frames per second, you have those options. Again, ISO 100 to 51,200. Up to 204,800 and H2 super high, ISO range. This is an amazing, incredible camera. A lot of high-end photographers use this. I can afford it. I wish I could afford it. I wish I could afford the 1DC so I can do 4K videos. I'd love to do 4K videos if I could. It's very good, very good. Excuse me. Both in build quality and rugged durability. The problem, it doesn't have GPS built in. It doesn't have 4K. It's only 18.1 megapixels. So it has a dual Digi5 processor, so it has 2 Digi5s plus a Digi4 processor. 12 frames per second, high ISO, 51,200 for photos, 25,600 for video, 3.2-inch LCD screen in the back, 18.1 megapixels, intelligent viewfinder, Windows 7 compatible, live view, HDMI, pick bridge, EOS Movie HD, picture style, direct print, self-cleaning sensor, blah, 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 blah. The point is, if you don't do 4K, or you can't afford the 1DC, the 1DX is currently Canon's top-of-the-line DSLR. It is a workhorse beast. It looks good. It works good. It's just really amazing. 12 frames per second, fast, reliable. Um, it's just wow. Next to the one, with the exception of the 1DC, it's the booming camera, people. Um, Slam bam. I wish I could afford it. A lot's been written about this camera. A lot's been said about it. A lot of people love it. I've yet to hear anybody that doesn't like it. I mean, literally, I haven't heard one person on YouTube say they don't like this camera. I've only seen one in real life. I've only seen one when I went to the store, the Roberts Distribution in Indianapolis. They sell cameras and camera gear and used stuff, and they had some up there, and I was like, wow, that's the camera of my dreams, or one of the cameras of my dreams. And of course, when I was up there, that's been a while. But that was before the 1DC. I think it was before the 1DC came out. They had announced the 1DC, but it hadn't come out yet, if I remember correctly. They had announced the 1DC, but it hadn't come out to stores yet. So at the time, it was like, wow. It's a beautiful looking camera. You look at these images. I mean, just. Now, is it a perfect camera? No, of course not. Can there be things improved upon? Of course. But right now, it's the best. And like I said, the price keeps going down, because it was originally $8,000 and now it's $5,299. So again, I think we're coming to announce pretty soon that they're going to be announcing a 1DX Mark II or 1DXS. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes sometime after Thanksgiving, before Christmas, or in early 2016. I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, a lot of people are looking forward to that, I'm sure. But there you go. And I'm gonna just because we're doing it, you might as well let me show you 1D. Let's see, because this is the camera I want. Again, they put it because it's in the cinema line and not in the DSLR line, but it basically does everything the 1DX can do, plus it does 4K video. So because it can do 4K, they put it with their cinema line of cameras. I'm not real hip on the cinema lenses because they don't do autofocus, which to me is stupid. I can understand more manual focus capabilities, but at least if you're going to spend that much money on those lenses, they'll be able to do autofocus, have the option of doing autofocus. But basically, you can't really see because of the lens. So basically, it's the same as 1DX on the outside, basically, except it says right here, you can see the C instead of the X. But here's the price and specifications subject to change, so they don't always put the information there of how much it costs. Let's see if we can go back and see if there's something on here. Oh, here we go. This is the one we want. Here, okay. Here it is. The first Canon hybrid to offer onboard 4K motion imaging, CF cards. Read more. 18 megapixels. That's what it comes with. Of course, you get all kinds of supplies, accessories. But there it is. I wouldn't want that lens, but the camera itself, yeah, that's what I want. I mean, it far exceeds what I'm currently shooting with here on the right. But again, you know what they say, the best camera is the one you have with you. And right now, this digital Rebel ST is the one I have with me. So, dream about that camera, or whatever comes after it. So, well, there you have it. The current EOS DSLR camera lineup, as compared to my Digital Rebel XT with 8 megapixels, 3.5 frames per second, the BG-E3 battery grip, built-in flash, and my external flash of a Speedlight 580EX with a Phoenix 28 to 300 millimeter lens that does in fact cost a lot less than the Canon lens and does autofocus. So, is it as good as a Canon lens? No, of course not. In fact, before I go, let's do that. Let's go just show what we're talking about. Let's see, that would be telephoto zoom, or it should be telephoto zoom. Yeah, here it is. Okay, look at my lens on here on the. It's a Phoenix 20 to 300 with a 77 millimeter filter and 4.0 to 6.3 aperture. So, as compared to this one, the Canon's 3.5 to 5.6 aperture, IS/USM, $2,500. Mine was about $350, so it's not near as good, but it's a lot cheaper. But let's look at that. I mean, I wish I could afford this. This would be awesome. But it's $2,500 basically, $2,449 or $2,450. By the time I paid taxes or shipping, it would probably be that much, or $2,500 or more. It's a beautiful lens. It's a lot better than what I've got, but again, I can't afford it. So again, if the camera you have, the best camera is the camera you have, the best lens is the lens you have, well, this lens I have right here on the right side of your video is the one I have. That's the one I'm using. I wish I could afford this lens. It would be awesome. But right now I can't. So let's see if they have a lens in there. Let's see that. I think one lens I would like to have though, since I'm just sitting here blabbing on about what I'd like. Telephoto zoom. Super telephoto. Let's do that. Let's try that. Yeah, here it is. The 200 to 400 f4 with its built-in extender, which would be great because it stands up to. I can't talk. It extends up to it's like 560 millimeters when it's like fully extended. I believe is what it was, if I remember right. Yeah, and the extender takes it all the way up to 280 to 560. So that would be an incredible lens. And it's still hand holdable. Probably want to get a monopod, but nonetheless, that would be an awesome lens to have as well. But look at the price, $11,000. Can't afford that. Some other lenses I'd like to have. Let's see what we have around here. No, nope, none of those. I don't like those. Ooh, excuse me. Where is it? A lot of people say they like the 100mm 2.8 macro because it also makes a good portrait lens. Oh, here it is. The MP-E 65mm f 2.8, which means there's a lot of light getting in. Plus, it's a 1 to 5 times macro, so you can really blow up the small images. That would be a cool lens to have. But it's not so much that it's 65 millimeters as it is the 1 to 5. Well, it has the 2.8, which is awesome, but it has a 1 to 5 times macro photo. That's what's awesome. $1,049. This would be, if I had money, this would definitely be the lens I'd take with me. For weddings, like at a wedding, you can take a really good, really close picture of the wedding ring. That would be awesome, because the bride, especially the bride and groom, but especially the bride, especially her parents, or maybe the groom too. I don't know. They all want, but especially the bride, they want a picture of that ring. You could take a really close up of the ring and or rings with this lens. That would be awesome, because it really would. Well, I mean, you can really zoom in close with this puppy. Plus, with the 2.8, I mean, that's just amazing lens for macro. So I would love to have that lens. But the 100 millimeter, a lot of people say they'd like to have that because it does. It's good for macro. Plus, it does. You still use it for portraits and everyday use. I mean, that really wouldn't be on my. That would be the last one I'd really want. I mean, that would. I mean, it wouldn't be on my top of the list. This would be on the bottom of my list. But this macro would be on the one of them on the top of my list. There's one more I would like to see. That's the fisheye. Where's the fisheye? EFM tilt. Wide angle. Let's go. Yeah, it's probably wide angle. Where's the fishy? Where's the fishy? There's you. There's a fisheye in here somewhere. I mean, the one that does really fisheye. Where is it? Don't you? Ultra, okay, ultra wide zoom. It's probably okay. Here we go. If we're going to do it, let's really do it. I mean, this is right here. A lot of people like this one, but I'll tell you what, I tend to this one. This is the one. If I was going to get a fisheye though, and this would be probably my. This would either be my third or fourth lens on my list. Depending on the macro, this would go in a switch between third and fourth place between this and the macro lens. Although I have to admit, I would probably use the macro lens when I use a fisheye, but I would definitely use a fisheye. $1,200. It's not cheap. You can get some really neat pictures with this. It's an f4, but nonetheless 8 millimeters. That is like super wide. Here's some images. Look at that. I like this effect right here, where the entire image is within the square, within the 16.9 or 4x3 or whatever. I'm not sure what the image is. My point is, the entire circle is there on the flat, the image. These are cool too. I like these. This kind of image I really like. And if you have subjects that are up close, that are interesting, and you do this effect with it, you can get some really cool shots. So this, if I had 4 lenses, this would be one of the top 4. Be the 20-300, the 200-400 with the 1.4 times tele-extender for sports and wildlife. Third would be the macro lens, and then fourth would be the fisheye. Or maybe the third would be the fisheye, and fourth would be the macro. I don't know. Either way, 4 lenses that I would have if I was doing it. But there you have it. Let's talk about super telephoto while I'm doing it. There are some seriously super telephoto lenses out there. Prime lenses. But let me tell you, some of these puppies can get real heavy. Plus, they're not cheap. For example, the biggest one right now is the 800 millimeter. It's at $13,000. Boom. This is The problem with it is, I don't like about it is it's not a zoom lens. I prefer to have the ability to zoom in and out. Having said that, though, if you're going to shoot something far away and you get something really close up, this is the way to do it. To be honest, though, for me, for what I do, I wouldn't buy this lens. I just don't have anything 800 millimeters. That 2 to 400 with a built-in teleconverter, the kind of sports I shoot, which would be like basketball and football and soccer and stuff like that, that would be more than enough. I mean, that would be a good lens for sports. This not only is 800 millimeters more than I need as far as focal length, it's also heavy. You would definitely have to have a tripod with this, either a tripod or a monopod or a bipod with this, because it's so long. You're not going to want to handhold that for more than 5 seconds, if that. So, for me, that wouldn't be a practical lens. It's nice to know what's out there and something like that's cool or shoot far away, but I can't imagine they sell a lot of those. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of people out there that want far away more than you think. I mean, I'm sure they sell them, but I wouldn't think it would be their highest seller. I know they're probably their highest seller is at 70-200, which a lot of people love. But let's go to that. Standard zoom. No, hold on. Okay, right here. This is one they say. This right here is yours. The one they sell a lot of. $2,000, 70-200, 2.8. This is the lens a lot of people say is the professional lens for photographers, because the 2.8 allows you to blow out the background. And you can zoom from 70 to 200 millimeters. This is what they call the professional lens. At least if you watch videos on YouTube or go online and ask people what's the professional lens, especially when it comes to Canon, what's the professional lens? This is the lens a lot of people use. As compared to the 28-300, which I prefer, which is a push-pull lens, which this is not. This is a twist. So the lens physically stays the same size. I wish the 28-300 stayed the same size and did everything internally. That would be a nice improvement for the next 28-300. Which is what the 30-300 does on the Cinema 30-300 does. Everything internal. But it doesn't have, the Cinema lens doesn't have autofocus. So I want a 28-300 that does autofocus, does everything internally. So basically, I want the best of the 28-300. I want the 28-300 length. I want the 70-200 2.8, and I want all the stuff to work internally instead of a push-pull like the 70-200 and the 30-300. Now, until that happens, a lot of photographers, this is their go-to for professional lens. Personally, again, this is just me. Even though it's a push-pull lens, I would still go for the 28-300 over the 70-200. Now, can you still, with a 3.5 to 5.6, can you still blur out the background? Yeah. Can you blur it out as good as you could with the 2.8? No, of course not. But you can still do it pretty good, okay? I've got lots of shots with my 28-300, which isn't anywhere near as good as this 28-300, and I can still blur out the background. Again, it's not as good as a 2.8, but still, you can still blur stuff out, the background out. So, I go with the 28-300 because I prefer that focal length. I like to know if something happens, I can change distances real fast. I mean, that to me is the most important thing. Being able to change that focal length, zooming in, zooming out, standard, just above standard, just below standard. Everything. It's really, really nice to have that range, and that's why I prefer it over the 70-200 because it goes farther out, and you can go wider or more telephoto. And I just prefer to have that range. Range to me in 28-300 is more important than the 2.8. blowing out the background. Now, do I wish the 2300 had 2.8 or 2.5? Yeah, sure. That would be awesome. But it would be a more expensive lens. It would probably be a wider lens. The point is, I've got a 2300, as you can see on the right. I wish I could afford this Canon 2300, but I just can't afford it right now. It's basically $2,500, $2,450. So there you have it. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Let's see, cameras and camcorders. Here's what they should be built in. All the GPS stuff should all be built into the cameras. All of them. These were originally $500, and they've gone down to $390, both of them. Obviously, if you're going to shoot with a 1DX, I would shoot with this one over here, the GP-E1, or the 1DC. So you slip it on the side. Because if you use the GP-E2, you're not able to use that and the flash at the same time. So the GP-E1 would be my choice. But again, I'm thinking eventually you can have all their cameras with built-in GPS. But there you have it. The Canon EOS DSLR lens lineup, cameras and lenses. And compared to my camera, the Canon EOS Digital XT. So until next time, I am Canon EOS photographer RandallMRueff saying thank you for watching. Have a good day, and may God bless you. And as always, whether you have a Canon, a Nikon, a Sony, a pocket camera, prosumer, high-end, or professional cameras like the 1DX or 1DC, keep taking those pictures. It'd be better if you had a Canon camera doing it, but nonetheless, keep taking those pictures. Until next time, bye.